It is a Saturday morning in the first week of August. You are standing at the front of the grocery store at that big cardboard bin stacked chest high with watermelons, and you are thumping melons like everybody else in the produce aisle. And not one soul in that store, you included, could say what any of you are listening for. You pick one anyway. 12 pounds, maybe 15. You haul it home. You clear half a shelf in the refrigerator, and come Saturday supper, you set it on the cutting board and run the knife through. Pale pink, mealy as an old apple, about as sweet as a wet dish rag. And you tell yourself the same thing you told yourself last July. Bad luck. But it was never luck. My daddy, my grandfather, could stand at a wagon load of 50 melons and pull out the sweetest one in the load without cutting a single rind, because a ripe watermelon tells on itself 7 different ways. Stay with me to the end, because the last of those signs, that little dry tail up on your screen right now, works for one reason nobody ever says out loud. It comes down to the one thing a watermelon cannot do that the bananas on your kitchen counter do every single week. I'm Elias Miller. I'm 58 years old. I'm old order Amish, and I was born and raised right here in Holmes County, Ohio, the largest Amish settlement in the world. Dottie raised me on this farm, and Emma and I raised 7 children and 19 grandchildren on the things that man taught me, and we never once carried debt doing it. Our son Mose runs the dairy now, so I keep the garden, the shop, and the bees. And every August, the melon rows out past Emma's kitchen garden are mine to tend. So this is a subject I know from the dirt up. Now, the title on this video says banned, and I want to be straight with you about that, the same way I'd want a neighbor to be straight with me. Nobody ever passed a law against reading a watermelon. No court did, no committee did, nothing of the kind. What really happened is simpler, and in a way it is worse. There was never a dime in teaching it. Think about how a supermarket sells you a melon. You pay by the pound, or you pay one flat price, and you pay it before you ever taste what is inside. Sweet as candy or bland as a cucumber, the register rings the same either way. So nobody ever printed the old signs on a grocery bag. Nobody ever put them in a commercial. And inside of 2 generations, knowledge that every produce man in this country once carried just quietly went home to the farms. The old ways still work, friends. They're just not for sale. And the thumping, the one test everybody half remembers, is the one nearly everybody does wrong, because a knock on a melon means nothing until you know the exact sound you are after. And I'd wager hardly a soul at that bin has ever heard it done right. I'll teach you that sound before we're through. Today I'm going to walk you through all 7 signs in the order I check them, standing right at the bin, using nothing but your 2 hands and your 2 eyes. About 30 seconds to a melon, once you know them. And keep that little brown tail in the back of your mind, because when we finally get to it, it is going to explain every other sign on this list. Now, every last thing I check on a melon has its own page in a manual Emma and I put together called Save $7,000 a Year, the Amish Country Manual. Because nobody ever got rich teaching folks how to keep their money, so we wrote it down ourselves. It is the plain country manual of what our families have run for generations: the heat, the water, the pantry, the garden, the household, written out step by step with the materials and the dollar amounts. Emma wrote the kitchen and pantry half, and her half is worth more than mine. It is $17 right now, marked down from $47, and one ruined watermelon a week through a long summer will cost you more than that. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time. There is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. All right, back to that melon bin, because the first sign is the one Dayati checked before his hand ever touched a rind. The first sign is the belly spot. Every watermelon grows lying on the ground, and the patch of rind pressed against the soil never sees the sun, so it cannot make green. It makes its own honest color instead, and that color is a calendar. Pick the melon up. Turn it over. Find that patch on the underside. You want it the color of butter, a deep creamy butter yellow, like the butter Emma churns, maybe even leaning toward orange. That is a melon that lay on warm dirt, clear to the end of its ripening. If that spot is white, put it back. If it is greenish, put it back. White means it left the vine too young, and in a few minutes you will learn exactly why a melon that leaves too young stays disappointing forever. Butter yellow, not white. That is the first gate, and half the bin fails it before you have spent 10 seconds. The second sign is the coat. A ripe watermelon is not shiny. Shine is for the showroom. As a melon finishes, the rind builds a dull, waxy bloom, and the whole thing goes matte, like a stone from a dry creek bed. So hold it up to the light. If it shines back at you like a waxed car hood, let it lay. If it looks a little dusty and tired, that is your melon talking sense. And while you are looking, check the stripes. You want the dark stripes deep green and the pale stripes creamy, with strong contrast between them, not washed together like a faded work shirt. The third sign is wait, and you do this one with 2 melons at a time. Find 2 of about the same size. Lift one in each hand, or one after the other if your shoulders vote no. Take the heavier one. Every single time, the heavier one. A watermelon runs right around 90% water, and that water comes up the vine carrying the sugar. So a melon that got its full fill sits dense and solid, and a melon cut off early feels light for its size, going dry and cottony inside. Heavy means full. Full means the vine had time to finish. Sometimes the difference is a pound or 2 between melons that look like twins, and you will feel it plainer than you expect. So there are your first 3, all eyes and arms, a gold belly, a dull coat, and a heavy hand. Now pay close attention to this next one, because it is the sign the old produce men prized above all the rest, and hardly anybody under 70 has ever heard of it. The fourth sign is what Dayati called the lace. Look over the rind for rough brown webbing, thin, scratchy lines spreading like frost on a January window pane, and for hard raised freckles, and for dark streaks running down the side like somebody dripped honey there and let it dry. Folks see that browning, figure the melon is damaged goods, and pass it by, and that is exactly backwards. The old men at the produce wagons called those sugar spots. Their reading was that the lace marks where the bees worked the blossom hardest, and the more the bees loved that flower, the sweeter the melon behind it. Now I keep honeybees along my own fence line, so you can guess whose side of that argument I take. But what I can swear to from a lifetime of wagon loads is this. Set the laced, freckled, honey-streaked melon against the smooth, pretty one, and the ugly one wins the taste near every time. In a watermelon, pretty is a warning. The fifth sign is the shape, and it is an honest one. Turn the melon a quarter at a time and study it from the ends. You want it even and regular all the way around, a smooth round or a smooth oval, with no flat sides, no lumps, and no soft dents. A lopsided melon had a hard life, too much water one week and none the next, and uneven growing makes uneven, stringy flesh. And while we are on shape, let me save you from the biggest melon in the bin. Leave the giant for somebody who wants to win a ribbon at the county fair. Take the middling one that passes every test. The giant is for bragging. The middle one is for eating. 2 signs left now, and then that brown tail pays off everything I promised you at the start. Hold on to it. We are close. The 6th sign is the sound, done the way it was actually taught, so take your time here. There is no rush, and nobody is timing you at that bin. Cradle the melon against your body, with one hand spread flat on the far side of it. Curl your other hand into a loose knuckle. Wrap the melon twice, like knocking on a neighbor's door. Now listen and feel at the same time. A ripe melon answers deep and hollow and round, the sound of knocking on a full water jug, and a little tremble comes through to that flat hand on the far side. That tremble matters as much as the tone. It means the flesh inside is crisp and full of juice, all one piece, carrying your knock straight through the middle. A dull, dead thud like rapping the porch post means overripe and mealy, going soft from the inside out. A high, tight ping like knocking on a green gourd means it was cut too soon, deep and hollow with the tremble in your palm. Knock 2 or 3 melons side by side, and your ear will find the right one faster than you expect. It is a knack, and it comes quicker than you think. And that brings us to the part I promised you at the start. The 7th sign is the tail. Out in my patch, right where a melon stem joins the vine, there grows a little curly tendril, a green pigtail, just across from the stem. That tendril is the grower's gauge, and Daadi checked it the way other men check a pocket watch. While it is green, the vine is still pumping. When it turns brown and dries to a crisp little curl, the vine is finished with that melon, and it is time. Now at the store, the tendril is long gone, so you read the stem instead. You want a dried, browned stub, or a clean, sunken scar where the stem let go on its own. A stem cut fresh and green means somebody took that melon while the vine was still working. I have 19 grandchildren who spit seeds off my porch rail every August, so believe me, I do not get to bring home a bad one. And here is the reason that one sign outranks all the others. The thing I told you at the start that nobody ever says out loud. A watermelon cannot ripen off the vine. Not one day, not one bit. Your bananas ripen on the counter. Peaches soften in the bowl. A green tomato turns red on the windowsill. A watermelon does none of that, because every spoonful of its sugar has to come down the vine while the melon is still attached, and the moment it is cut loose, that door shuts for good. From that day forward, it can get older, softer, and mealier, but it cannot get one bit sweeter, not in a week on your counter, not in a month. So a green stem is not a melon that needs a little time at home. It is a melon that was robbed, and no patience of yours will ever pay it back. And once you know that, all 7 signs turn out to be one question asked 7 different ways. The belly goes gold because the melon lay on the soil clear to the finish. The coat goes dull at the finish. It sits heavy because the vine had time to fill it full. The lace, the honest shape, the deep jug sound, every one of them is you asking that vine one thing. Did you finish your work before somebody cut this melon loose? And that is the kind of knowing that keeps money in your pocket every week of the summer, and there is a whole manual of it. Save $7,000 a year. The Amish Country Manual. The methods our families have run for generations. Written out plain with the materials and the dollar amounts. It is $17 today, marked down from $47. You don't have to become Amish. You just have to keep your money like one. Now go ahead and grab your phone and open up your camera, the same one you use to take pictures. Point it at that square code on your screen and hold it steady for a second. A little link will pop up, give it a tap, and it will take you straight to the book. And if you are watching on your phone right now, the link is waiting for you right down below in the description. Take your time, there is no rush at all. I'll wait right here. So, remember friends, a gold belly, a dull coat, heavy for its size, the sugar lace, an honest shape, the deep water jug knock, and a brown dried tail. Now tell me in the comments, did your grandparents do it this way too? Maybe a daddy of your own thumping melons at a roadside stand? I'd surely like to hear it. I read every single one. Next time, I am going to show you what Emma does with a 5-gallon bucket and a bag of plain sand that keeps garden carrots crisp and sweet clear into March, and why that sand has to be just barely damp, because bone dry ruins the batch and soaking wet rots it. The old ways still work, friends. Use them well, and God keep you till next time.